The number one question that always gets asked is, how do you remain consistent? How do you balance this? How do you balance that? How do you remain disciplined when like you have all of these things that you have to dedicate into your life, when you have so much to do all at once? And the answer is simple. The way in which you remain disciplined is all in your power. A lot of people think they have to do all of these extraordinary things in order to become this disciplined individual, but that's far from it. It lies within your power, and it lies within your beliefs of you wanting to do better for yourself. And I know a lot of you are stuck in this victim mentality of thinking that there's so many external forces that are to blame for the way that you are right now, that are to blame for the reason why you're so inconsistent, why you're not disciplined. And an example I can use is people saying that their phone is the problem. Now listen, hold my hand when I say this, it is not the problem. You have all the power and you don't even know it. Stop blaming this device that you're actually scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on Instagram for, and just looking at other people's lives and seeing how their lives are, and how are they progressing and where they're at in their lives, and comparing yourself to them. You are literally doing that to yourself. It is not your phone. You see how small things can literally lead to you developing that victim complex that we always talk about on this channel. So you need to step up your game, and you need to learn to set boundaries with yourself, because at this point you're literally your main enemy. You're your worst enemy, because no one else is putting a gun to your head and telling you not to be disciplined, not to be consistent. You are deciding to do that every single day with the way in which you go about your day. Keep on watching if you want to become your most consistent and disciplined self, because we all know that version is better than the version of you that's watching right now. Hello everyone, if you don't know me, my name is Gushe and welcome back to the Life Experience. So first things first, I want to break up some common misconceptions of inconsistency and discipline. People sometimes don't even realize that they themselves are literally putting themselves in these type of positions. They're wondering why they're not disciplined and consistent when they're literally walking around and waking up with the mentality of saying that discipline is too much of a chore. That's the first misconception that people have, that it's such a chore, that, you know, what happens if I don't really feel like it? That's a part of discipline within itself, and that's a part of consistency within itself. A lot of people want to run their mouths and say that discipline is just torture, and this is literally a form of self-sabotage within itself, because discipline is all about doing things that benefit your future self so that you can become better. So the fact that you are drifting away from that is an act of self-hate, and therefore it is an act of self-sabotage. And a lot of people don't realize this, and it's like one single thing that you do and that you don't actually think through, because you're acting on your emotions rather than actually thinking this could actually benefit me 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and I actually wouldn't regret it. Because either way, all of the things that you're doing that is not sustaining you in your daily life, you are going to regret it, and you're actually going to feel very drained and burnt out, and you're going to wonder where all your energy went. And it's because you're pouring your energy into things that are no longer sustaining you, and things that are not even energizing you. Because if you were actually going outside and getting vitamin D and taking a walk and doing all of these things, you would actually feel more energized in order to take on the day. But how are you supposed to feel that way if the first thing that you do is literally go on your phone? Like, it literally makes no sense. So the first thing is to just shift your mindset and stop thinking that discipline equals torture. It is an act of self-love. I've heard this multiple times from multiple creators, and it is the truth. And if you continue to think like that, your life is never going to change, and you're never going to become the disciplined person that you aspire to be. It's going to be a dream, but for some it is a reality. And the thing is, the faster that you become more disciplined and consistent, the faster you will be able to see the progress in your life. Because you're wondering why your life is not changing, it's because of that. The second misconception is that people think that with discipline you have to operate in the same way and that you have to show up in every way or with the same energy levels as you did on day one every other day. Now listen, I don't know if people have forgotten, but we are humans and we are not robots. We're not wired to take on every single day with the same levels of energy that we did a few days ago. Like, for example, a woman, right? A woman has different phases that she goes through each and every month. If you think that in your menstrual phase that you are going to be operating on your highest levels, you're literally setting yourself up for failure, because it is in times of, like, I think your ovulation phase and your follicular phase where you're actually in a better mood and you're able to take on the days that you wouldn't be able to take off in the other phases of your cycle. If you go in with that mindset of thinking that you're going to have these 100% levels of energy, you're not going to be able to accomplish your tasks because you have not altered your routine to your energy levels, not to your mood or to like your emotions or whatnot. Not like you're acting on your emotions, but on your genuine energy levels, not just trying to find an excuse to not do something. And just because your energy levels are low doesn't mean that you just don't do anything. It just means that you may not be able to function as optimally as you would have on the previous days, but you can still get something done, because either ways, if you don't get that task done, it's gonna pile up into the next day, and then you're gonna feel so overwhelmed and you're gonna feel like you're so under pressure, and everything is just gonna overwhelm you on that one day where you just literally had other days to like at least break that tasks into smaller pieces, because that's also another way that people achieve their goals. Guys, really and truly think about it. You're not a robot, right? So even if you put 10% of your energy into something that is good for you and it's going to sustain you, and you know that this is for you, even if you put just 10%, you at least know you did something and you at least know you tried, and nobody else should have the right to shame you because you know what you're doing for your life and for your benefit. So that 10% is going to be 100,000% in like the near future, because you're not going to leave or sleep that day with regrets. Because trust me, you're gonna wish that you did it yesterday. You're gonna take on the next day and you're gonna be like, "Ugh, I kind of wish I did this yesterday," because it would have been like a weight off your shoulders and you would have been like a lot less stressed. Now you're stressed and now you're overwhelmed and now you're pressured and you just can't function optimally. It's just not cute. The third misconception and the very last one is that people think that because you failed in being, let's say, consistent or being disciplined just on one particular day, that all your progress is lost. And I think that gives people an excuse to just stop it over, like just stop the entire thing within itself. And I have been 100% guilty of this. But in my situation, it happened when I just stopped doing one thing for like one day, and then it was like, okay, the other day I was like, I just didn't do it as well. And then the other days I was finding excuses not to do it. So it turned into like a literal week of not doing anything. And I feel like that's when you can say that you've lost a lot of progress, because a lot can be accomplished and done in a week compared to you doing or providing 50% of your energy to each day at least. So a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking that if I just miss one day, that gives me the right to miss the next day, because then that turns into an entire cycle, and then you wonder why you haven't achieved that certain goal of yours. It's because you failed to see that day where you couldn't give you 100% as an excuse to waste that day. And now you know you're not going to get that day back, but what you need to do is you need to now bounce back on that next day and give it your all. Give it whatever levels of energy that you have, give it your all, so that you're not going to be trapped in the cycle of just not doing anything, because that's how we get into a slump. And your progress cannot be lost just in one day. It literally makes no sense. Like, you have like 365 days, 24 hours in a day, literally 30 days in a month, and you believe that all your progress is lost. Because the thing is, people think that your consistency has to look the same literally every single day. And I'm like, It literally makes no sense. It can't look like that every day. You're not a robot. It's going to fluctuate, and that's okay. I think people need to normalize that on certain days you're just not going to feel it, but it's just not about not doing anything. It's just about trying and giving it your all, and then being able to recharge your body with whatever is necessary to recharge your body, because at the end of the day, maybe it's a signal that your body and your brain is just tired and it just needs rest. Right? The main issue as to why a lot of people are not really disciplined and consistent is because they're way too comfortable with their situation. If a lot of people were in survival mode, I think I've said this in one of my videos before, if a lot more people were in survival mode, they would want more for themselves, because they know that anything can happen today, so I need to like literally make the most out of it. And I'm not saying that you should live your life like you're in survival mode, but rather just take that into account when just waking up on like literally every morning. Just make sure that you do something with your day, do something productive, do something that fulfills you, sustains you, is beneficial to you, do something for someone else, do something for people, do something for the community. Just do anything that is good and that just feels good for you. It doesn't have to be like the 6 hours of like, oh, I'm working for 6 hours straight, and it's like all of these things. It's like sometimes people glamorize productivity, and it's just not as if like it's not what people make it seem to be, because at the end of the day, those extreme levels of productivity literally drain you of all the energy that you have. So you have to make sure that you never like, overwork yourself or whatever the case is, or as a replacement of saying that you have to be in constant survival mode. I think that you just have to wake up each day like it's a new one. And this is a tip that I got from Tam Core. Shout out to her. She literally said, what would you do if every day you woke up and it was like the first time? I don't know if she said like you have the knowledge that you've had of like your past, but you're waking up every day. It's like how would you live it if it was your first time? You would obviously want to explore different things and just be out there and actually see the world for what it is. Because a lot of the times, a lot of people just like keep to themselves, and that's not wrong, because other people are just wired like that, just want to be by themselves and everything. But it's good to just put yourself out there, immerse yourself in certain situations, because you don't know where they're gonna get you, you don't know what's gonna happen. Literally anything can happen when you're outdoors. It's just like, so just live your life like it's the first time that you're living, because I feel like in that sense you have more of a purpose, you have more of a drive, you have just more motivation, you have that lust for life, in words of Lana Del Rey. You just want to do more and you just want to explore. I think the thing is like sometimes we get too comfortable with the environment, and it's just like, you know, I don't really want to explore. What is there to explore? I've seen everything else. So it's, you get too comfortable, you get too bored, and it's just like the sense of comfort that you need to step out of. You need to get out of your comfort zone. So just doing things like that also just enables you to stop being this person who's just complacent. You have to also remember there are people with like less resources and everything that are doing the damn thing, and they're taking the necessary steps in order to accomplish their goals. It's something that is close to their hearts and their mind, and they're doing it out of love, and they're doing it out of a passion and everything, and to help other people. Oh yeah, as I was saying, there are people who have less resources, but they're doing the most. They're doing the most because they wanted more. You have to really ask yourself sometimes, if you want to accomplish a certain goal, do you really want it that much? And if you do, that should be enough to get you out of bed, because motivation will only get you so far. Like, I'm not saying that motivation is not necessary, but it will only get you so far, because discipline is what's going to be there along the like for the long run. Motivation is there for like the short time. It's like, girl, get up, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's like on day one, day two, and then like that slowly wears off, because I feel like you almost become accustomed to that type of motivation. And so it's like, it's not new motivation, it's no longer motivating you. But with discipline, remembering why you started in the first place is what's going to get you out of bed and make you do the things that are outside of your comfort zone, make you make sacrifices and all of these things. So that's also very important. A friend of mine had asked me to make this video concept, and she also wanted me to focus on they be able to like focus more. And I just feel like with focusing, it's just limiting your distractions. Limiting your distractions, clearing your mind, fixing your damn attention span. Because oh my gosh, guys, people can't watch long form content anymore. Like I think I can. I think I can, because I watch a lot of YouTube. YouTube's my favorite app. So like there's a lot of long form content that I can watch in there. But I'm not a binge watcher. I take intervals because sometimes I will become a bit bored, but I can last. Like there are people who cannot just stay for like a minute, and it's just like, wow, your attention span is bad. It's terrible. I think it's just like the generation that we're in right now. It's insane. And I just feel like if you gradually, like, I don't know, expose yourself to long form content more and become more accustomed to that, I just feel like exposing yourself once again to those long form content, I think it will be good. And it has to be content that you like. You obviously can't force yourself to watch content that you don't like. It has to be close to you and your interests. So as I was saying with focusing, because I feel like that's also playing a big part in just this whole thing of like wellness and your mind and everything. But did I say limit your distractions? Guys, if you know your phone distracts you, switch off those notifications, because there was a time and a period where personally I think for me it's just because I don't like notifications. I feel very overwhelmed when I do get them. So I just switched them off for like literally a year, and it's just like I didn't care, I didn't mind. I actually preferred it that way. Because if you know you're that type of person where once you get a notification, you go in there, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on different apps, and then you find yourself on your phone for like 6 hours on one app, being TikTok or Instagram, and then you're just stuck in a loop once again. So if you know you're that type of person, just switch off those damn notifications, maybe silence the phone, maybe pick up a book, maybe get out and go for a walk and touch some grass. Like, I'm not even being sarcastic, I know it sounds like it, but it's actually very helpful. Just pick up a book if you're not a reader. I don't know, just listen to some music, some calming music, and just sit there and just really get in your thoughts. I feel like because I feel like this whole thing of not being able to focus on one thing, it's just mainly caused by the phone, because you're exposed to all of these different content from different people, and you're just like all over the place, and you just can't really focus on one thing because you're exposed to so many things. Everything's just in a span of like 6 hours. I know I'm like kind of like all over the place right now, but it's like all, it's somehow all links together, right? One thing I think I should have said this literally in the beginning. If you want to be disciplined, guys, this is a golden tip. This is a golden tip, okay? No screen mornings. No screen mornings for at least 30 minutes to an hour. You know how people say like you shouldn't drink coffee within the first hour of waking up? Do that with your phone. Because I'm telling you, if you wake up and you go on your phone, you're gonna stay there for 8 hours. I'm telling you. So no screen mornings is literally perfect, because you're exposing yourself to an actual reality, not just one that's on your phone and looking at other people's realities. You're actually exposing yourself to a world that you really haven't seen in a while. You're able, I don't know, I feel like it's just so therapeutic also. And then like even after that hour finishes, you actually don't really even want to like touch your phone, or at least you're not running for it, like you're rushing for it or anything. And I just feel like it's a perfect way, because it just helps calm your mind. You're not exposed to so many different types of content and opinions. Child, like early in the morning, it's just so good and everything. And it's just like answer those notifications off. It's like it really doesn't matter. You can start, you know, having your breakfast and everything, having a nice water, whatever you want to have on the side, reading a book. I don't know, doing something that's just not on your phone, or even listening to a podcast, but making sure that that phone is switched off. And then the last thing I want to say is just alternate your routine based on your energy levels. Keep the same healthy habits that you want to incorporate. Could be working out, could be reading, could be, you need to actually be in those days and actually see how you feel, and maybe you may not feel the same exact same way the other time, but you just need to make sure that you record everything that you're able to do right now. Take note of it, the things that you're able to do, the things that you have the capacity for, and then that becomes your routine whenever you feel in that mood. So you're still able to achieve all of these goals, and you're still ticking off your healthy habits and everything without draining and burning yourself out. Because the worst thing you want to do is burn yourself out with like overproductivity and all of these things. And with that being said, you guys have come to the end of this video. I hope that you guys stop being lazy bums and become your productive selves. Disciplined babes, focused and consistent huns, period. And yeah, I hope that this helped. Check out my socials, and if you guys have any suggestions and any comments, you can comment down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.